So hello students, today we are going to learn part 6 of chapter number 11, that is squares and square roots. Okay, so in the previous part we have learned how to find the square root by prime factorization method, by repeated subtraction method. Okay, now today we are going to learn some properties of and patterns of squares and square roots. Okay, so let us start. Now our first property is that a perfect square number, it never ends with 2, 3, 7 or 8. Okay, so for example, when we write 2 square, so our answer is 4. When we write 3 square, our answer is 9. When we write 4 square, our answer is 16. Okay, so it can be seen that a perfect square, now these all are perfect square numbers. Okay, so they never end with 2, 3, 7, 8. Now suppose if a question is given that state whether the given number is a perfect square or not, and we have a number, suppose 2598. Okay, now this number is not, sorry, this number is ending with 8. Okay, now we have learned that a perfect square number never ends with these digits. Okay, so this number is ending with 8, so it is not a perfect square number. We can directly say this one. Okay, now let us look at our next property. Our next property states that, now here in this property we are going to learn that if a number is ending with a particular digit, its square will end with which digits. Okay, for example, if a number is ending with 0, its square will end with 0 only. For example, now we have a number 10 square, so 10 square means 10 into 10, so our answer will be 100. So a number is ending with 0, so its square is also ending with 0. Okay, the next one, if a number is ending with 1, its square will also end with the digit 1. For example, if we have a number 11 square, okay, now 11 square means 11 into 11. Now the number is ending with 1, its square is 121. Okay, so the square is also ending with the digit 1. Okay, the next one, if a number is ending with 2, its square will end with 4. A number ending with 3, its square will end with 9. A number ending with 4, its square will end with 6. A number ending with 5, its square will end with 5 only. A number ending with the digit 6, its square will end with 6. A number ending with digit 7, its square will end with 9. A number ending with digit 8, its square will end with 4. And next one, 9 with 1. Okay, so here I have highlighted the number ending with, suppose a number is ending with 1 or 9, its square will end with 1 only. If a number, let me highlight it with a different color. A number, if it is ending with 1 or 9, its square will end with always 1. A number ending with 2 or 8, its square will always end with 4. A number ending with 4 or 6, its square will always end with 6. Then remaining number, if it is ending with 0, then the square will also end with 0. And if a number is ending with 5, the square will also end with 5. Okay, so this is our second rule. Now suppose if it is given that check whether what will be the unit digit in the square of 1257. Now the number is ending with 7, so its square will end with 9. Okay, why? Just multiply this number by the same number, so 7 sevens are 49, so the number is ending with 9. Is it clear? So next property now. Now our next property states that the number of zeros at the end of a perfect square is always even. For example, now we have a number 10. 10 square. So it is 100. Now how many zeros are there? Two zeros, that is even zeros. Okay. Next number, we have 100 square. So 100 square is 10,000. How many zeros are there? One, two, three, four. So that is even zeros. Next number, 1000 square. So here how many zeros are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again it is even zeros. So what we have learned, now these all are perfect square numbers. So the number of zeros at the end of a perfect square is always even. In other words, we can say that if here it is 1 zero, in its square it will have two zeros. Here if it is two zeros, in its square it will have 4. Here if it is three zeros, in its square it will have 6. Suppose now if we have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 square. So in its square, how many zeros will be there? So double of this one. So 5 twos are 10. So there will be 10 zeros in that number. Okay. Now next property. Now in this property it is given that square of an even number is always even. Let us consider some example. Now 2 is an even number. So its square is 4, which is also an even number. Next example. Now again 4. 4 is an even number. So its square is 16, which is also an even number. 6. Its square is 36. Both 6 and 36 are even. So what we have learned, square of an even number is always even. Okay. Similarly, now next property, that is square of an odd number is always odd. Okay. For example, 3 square. Now 3 is an odd number. So its square is also an odd number, that is 9. Okay. Next example now 5. Now 5 is an odd number. So its square is 25, which is also an odd number. Similarly, 7 is an odd number and its square 49 is also an odd number. So finally what we have learned, that square of an odd number is always odd. Okay. Now next property. Now next property states that the sum of first n odd natural numbers is equal to 9 square. Okay, let us understand it. Now suppose it is given that the sum of first n odd number. So here 1 is the first odd number, 3 is the second odd number. Now sum of these two odd number is always the value of n square. Okay, or it can be written as n square. Now we know that 1 plus 3 is how much? It is 4. I am writing that answer over here. Now, as per the rule, we have to write it. How many digits are there? 1, 2. So we have to write it as 2 square. And 2 square is again what? So we can see here 4. So it means that our answer is correct. Next example. Now, see, every time it is given the sum of first n. So you have to start with 1. Okay. Now, suppose here 1 plus 3 plus 5. This is what? Sum of first odd natural numbers. First three odd natural numbers. So how many digits are there? 1. How many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3. So without adding it, we can directly write it as its square. So 3 square. 3 numbers are there. So 3 square. So answer will be 9. Suppose if there are 4 numbers. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. So without adding it directly, we can write it as 4 square, which is 16. Okay. Let us consider one more example now here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are there. So we can directly write its answer as a 5 square, that equals to 25. Okay. So hope you all must have understood up till here. So this much is enough for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.